Bruce from the Joinery Business Podcast. I'm sitting down today with one of my favorite people in the world, Lee Barlow from Biesse. Lee, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for having us in your facility doing our podcast.
Thank you for being here. This has been a great event so far.
Tell us about Biesse, just maybe a holistic view of Biesse, the company, and just for anybody that doesn't know the background.
Well, Biesse is formerly a family business generated from the Celci family, with Giancarlo Celci starting the business and originally making motorcycle components.
Really?
And then for I believe it was Benelli.
Right.
And then basically from there, a friend asked him if he could make a machine to do a certain process, which was in the furniture industry.
Wow.
And then from there, Biesse was born. I believe it was a drill that was first made by Giancarlo in his backyard. So
What year are we talking about?
this is Biesse formally started in 1969, 1968. So
just about when I was born.
yeah, so it's been going for over 50 years now.
Nice.
Still run by the Celci family.
Nice.
Second generation is running the business now. Roberto Celci is now the CEO and president of the company on the share market these days, but it is still family oriented.
Worldwide company.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are a worldwide company.
Yeah.
We do both direct and dealership networking in the way of sales.
Yeah.
In Australia, we're predominantly, and New Zealand, direct sales through our subsidiary, wholly owned by Biesse.
Yeah.
So this premises is set up and run by Biesse.
Yeah. Tell us about your position in Biesse here.
I'm the group sales director for Oceania. So I look after all the sales activity or commercial activity for the group for the multiple materials.
That's a big role, by the sound of it.
Yeah. It's a really challenging position to be in.
Yep.
It's quite good, where it's quite diverse. So there's always something different. There's a lot of different avenues to be looking at. And it's quite a beneficial business that we are quite diverse, because we're involved in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
But that's also been born from our customer base, who are multi-material.
Yeah, because you do glass and stone and
Metal, composites. So metal is a new prospect for us that was brought in basically last year as a material to our network. We've always done aluminium, but metal through the acquisition of GMM Group and the new purchase of Techni Waterjet, which is an Australian company originally. We've basically added the metal lineup to our offerings, and we will expand on that over time, which is really exciting.
Yeah, it really is, because joinery used to just be about wood. And now, even if we're talking about joinery, we're probably talking about all kinds of different materials and stuff.
Oh, it's amazing how many of our joinery customers do stone, do glass, do composite materials.
Yeah.
So
It's a design factor now fitting into everything.
yeah, and we've always been a multi-material company, just never formally. And in recent years, we adopted it wholeheartedly as a business, and as a widespread mentality for the company moving forward, that we are multi-material. And we want to be as specialised as we can be, while working with our partners and customers around the globe to improve always, but promote as much as possible that we are not just wood, which we are well known for globally.
For sure, Tell us about this facility. I mean, this is such an amazing facility. What was the impetus to do this? Tell us the background before this was here.
Well, effectively, we've been in Wetherill Park for a very long time. A previous site around the corner. This site was built for purpose for us. So the land became available, and one of our CEOs had the foresight to promote this to our owner at the time, the CEO of the group, and say, look, this is a perfect opportunity. They will build what we need. The purpose-built nature of it was because we had grown quite well. We're quite strong in the market, and we were looking forward as to where we needed to be for the market, because we were watching what was happening with the market. The skill gap was, let's just say, getting lower.
Yes.
And we wanted to offer facilities not just to promote the machinery, but to offer service to the market and provide training facility, which we do regularly because we have a fully working showroom. We also have a really good space for our service and support and hotline. So that was the whole plan around building at the time it was called a campus.
Right.
That was the original terminology when we launched this premises, was a Biesse campus.
Now it's hub.
The hub.
Materials hub.
Because we are so many materials,
Yep.
it's a hub for so many different things that we offer to customers.
Yeah.
The services, the training, the demonstrations. We have associations come in and
Yeah.
do their own general meetings, use the facilities because it's connected. It's
Yeah,
a
we're going to
central
host
place.
one of our events here this year. It's fantastic.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
It's not always being used for those type. We have the rooms, we use the space, and it's a win-win for all of us. They get to come in and use the space.
And
We present them with a product.
you have a great lunch.
Yeah,
Great food.
food's always good. We're Italian.
Fantastic.
Yes,
That's true. I like to, I always look to the future. What's next? Let's say 1 year from now, do you see a lot of change in the product? I know you probably can't talk about what's happening behind the scenes, but is there anything on the agenda for next year that's going to be released new into the market or on machinery and technology?
There's always something, and if we look at a CNC's been a CNC for years, but
Yeah.
if you look at, and I've spoken to you before about your experience with Biesse CNCs in the past,
Yeah.
you look at that CNC that you remember of using to a CNC of today,
Yeah.
and
Totally
yes, they do the same thing, but they're totally different to look at. So one little item on a machine can make all the difference. We've got a machine that's right next to us here that is one of our flagship CNCs for production.
Yeah.
And it's built, and you can have a look at it to see that it is just about production. It's not necessarily about, and I don't want to use the word to put it backwards, but it's not all about flexibility. Yes, it's batch one.
Does one thing really, really well.
It does one thing extremely well, extremely quick, it's extremely efficient. It's a very much a production machine. Is it the machine that's going to be the do-all and everything? Yes, it can, but it's not really designed
It's
for
one of
that.
those things, right? We often see people trying to do too many things on a CNC, when in actual fact, a bevel, you might be better off doing that on a spindle molder.
Depends on what the
It's
application
going
is.
to change the yield and everything so much. So
Joinery is still joinery, but then we're tipping the scales there where we've got flatbeds that can do joinery. And
Yeah.
We recently had an event in New Zealand where we had it's about a dozen customers come through for a day and saw how to do joinery as well as nesting on a flatbed CNC. So 5-axis on flatbed is probably where the market's going to start to shift a little bit because we give a lot of diversity to a customer.
for sure.
Because they want to be more. They want to, as we spoke earlier,
Yeah.
add value to their customer.
Absolutely.
And if they can do it all, they can start there.
The Joinery Business Podcast is sponsored by Flexijet 3D. Flexijet is an automated laser measuring system, the next evolution in digital measurement technology. With seamless CAD integration, easily generate 3D on-site models that integrate directly into your design software. With guaranteed accuracy, Flexijet delivers perfect, high-confidence fits for intricate joinery and complex architectural projects. And the cherry on top, Flexijet has localized support that provides comprehensive solutions and expert technical support tailored for your team. At the Joinery Coach, so many of our clients are using Flexijet every single day, creating full, accurate measurements and saving so much time and energy. Jump on the Flexijet website at flexijet3d.com.au and request your tailored demonstration today.
Biesse is a company. I'll ask you, what's your point of difference in the marketplace? Because there's, as we know, there's all kinds of machinery out there. How does Biesse position itself as a point of difference in the industry?
I'd like to say that we offer very good quality equipment, long lasting. So when you're investing in Biesse, you're investing in something that's going to last. And more importantly, have value for a long period of time. We support the product for an extended period, much more than what the commercial aspects should be. We have 20-year-old machines still running in the market and we're still supporting those customers. We still offer training to their new people on those old softwares because we try and nurture that old technology through with our people.
And sometimes it's hard because those old machines are different to today. So you've got to have the person that knew how to use that thing back then.
And we're still training our people in some cases, not as much as we used to, but because we are transitioning and the market is shifting away from it, but we still have support for it. So we try and nurture. So you're buying a long-term partnership with a company. The quality is good. We're usually quite innovative. We're trying to be ahead of the game at all times. And basically what we're looking at is we've got a machine that will work with the customer to provide a machine that will provide them with the solution to fix their pain points.
One thing that I do hear often is the service, because CNC machines all kind of work similarly, but when they break down, what happens, or when an issue arises, what happens?
Yep.
And it's always the support you get that makes the difference.
Yep.
Certainly the one thing we hear very often is Biesse is head and shoulders above where people think you should be. You know, it's definitely, if I was to pick what I see in the marketplace as a point of difference, that's probably where it is. Because if I'm in a cabinet shop and my CNC is limiting out somewhere and I don't know how to fix it, and the technician's available to help me right now, that's solved the problem.
Yeah.
Now you're a production guy from way back,
I am.
and so we often have these conversations around production and stuff like that. What do you see, now we're going to talk about the industry a little bit, if you don't mind.
That's okay.
What do you see in the next 5 years? How do you see this industry advancing and changing?
People skills is the one that we're trying to focus on. For want of a better description, I'm seeing just operators, button pushers,
Yeah.
being a lot of investment in that. We're trying to get operators. We're trying to train and offer at a cost-effective way to train operators as opposed to just a button pusher.
Right.
Inherently, the machines are leaning towards that. You can literally push a button and run it, but
Right.
you still want somebody who can run a machine. And if you can get that right and they can understand the process, which is what we try and work with customers to understand the process and add value to, they can be far more efficient.
It's so true, isn't it? Because I've had my experience within integrating machines, worked with a software company, and understand the sound of the machine. So if I go into a cabinet shop and I hear something that doesn't sound right, I'm immediately looking for something to be flying across the factory at me right away. Whereas if you have like a button pusher that isn't really tuned in that way, and that's kind of what you're talking about, right? Is to get that person to be a true operator of that machine, including how does it sound, how does it operate, like pay attention other than just hit and go. That's kind of what you're alluding to, isn't it? Yeah, it's good operating.
Cabinet makers are cabinet makers, and they learned a craft, but they fill their shop with people that are box builders. It's a necessity because it's hard to get people to take the trade, and it's a shame because it's a magic industry to be involved in, especially in the wood industry. If I take that one as the core, which is one of the largest employers in this country.
Right.
The wood industry is one of the largest employers.
Yep.
In whatever facet you might be involved in the wood industry, from forestry right through to the finished product.
Yeah.
It is an amazing industry to be involved in. To become that sort of industry where we are just going to have commodity workers just showing up, and it's a shame because the skill is harder and harder to then get back.
Yeah, you know, I think this is a little off the track here a little bit, but that's okay. I always have this vision in my head, and of course I wasn't around in the 1800s, but I have this vision that back then there would be a guy on a bench with a hand trenching plane, trenching a trench, right, with a plane. And that fancy electric router thing came into play. That thing will never take off. That won't work. Back then, that was the conversation.
Yeah.
Yet it did, of course, and technology advanced, and now we're not trenching by hand. We've got this electric router. And we look at all the obvious advancements today that are happening. Improvements happen at a pretty steady pace. And we're not going to stop that. We shouldn't try and stop it. Used to be that we had point-to-point operators that were programming on the point-to-point machine. That wasn't that long ago.
No.
Now we don't have any of that. We have that person out in the set-out office drawing in the software, push a button, the machine's got the G-code, and it's just cutting the parts. Change and progression happens at a steady rate, yet people get placed in different positions. We don't take that out of it. The ability to handcraft something still remains. So if you're going to lay up veneer, I don't think there's ever going to be a machine that's going to do the sort of stuff that, if you're going to do, trade, the craft is always going to have its place, but we can't have the craftsman doing the mundane stuff of running a CNC machine. So the way that we see it is that the people that support the craftspeople are the ones in the process, and they actually protect the trade because the trade is then not being drawn into the things that have no trade-related skills at all.
The trade's still got to come up from the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is why we have the visitation for all of these events of the TAFEs coming through. We nurture the TAFEs. We try to be involved with all the TAFEs around the country. And if it's not us, our competitors are getting involved in it because they also see the same, which is great. This is why I love this industry. We all want the trade schools to do well. They
Yes.
need to understand the technology,
Yes.
but they also still need to understand how to do things by hand,
Yeah.
how to do things with the old traditional machines,
How to feel what's going on.
how to feel and understand. And if they don't, then all of a sudden, how do you stave off that original question, China?
Yeah. You got to free the tradesmen up so that they can teach the people what to do and not have them running CNC machines.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually a fairly straightforward application. Hard to make happen, but the way we see it, the solution is actually obvious. Really awesome. So one of the things I love about what happens in this facility is your commitment to your audience, the commitment to your customer. Because you've set this up and you haven't set it up as just displaying machines. Your machines are working. And as evidence to what you were talking about teaching, you guys have gone the next stage. You actually have headsets for those TAFE kids to come through. And we've seen them coming through here the last couple of days.
I think we've had over 75 each day come
Yep.
through. Yep.
And to me, it just kind of shows the level of how much Biesse pays attention to people, because you didn't have to have those headsets. You could have just had those kids, 5 deep in a crowd, and the 2 at the back aren't hearing anything, trying to listen to the guy at the front because the machine's making so much noise. No, you actually understood that each one of those people are important. They need to hear it, so you gave them headsets.
We want to engage.
Yeah, and I really give Biesse highest praise, because that not every corporation is going to understand people like that. So it's amazing to see it in action here. It really is.
That is our future. That is the future me. That is the future you. That is the future owner of a business. That is the future production manager. That is the future bespoke furniture guy, girl.
100%.
Yeah,
We need
it's
to
our
get
future.
passionate.
And if we're not passionate, they don't feel the passion. They don't feel engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they disengage in that situation, you've lost.
Then they've lost the passion for the
Yeah.
industry as well.
So here's a question for you. You have one choice for the rest of your life to make around a band or a performer that you're going to see, and you only get one more for the rest of your life. Alive or dead? Who do you pick? Who do you go and see?
Probably go and see Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams. Wow, that's one we haven't heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be good.
Yeah.
He'd be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever seen Robbie Williams. Cool.
Yep.
That's a good choice. Well, Lee, this has been really good.
Thank you.
Let's hook up again in a few months and carry on this conversation on another topic. Thanks for joining the podcast, and thanks for being so awesome. Biesse's, like I say, just a great company for us to be a part of, and well done.
Thanks again for having me.
Cheers.